Just days after the apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump on Sunday, there are new heightened security measures at his upcoming events.
Former President Trump made an appearance at a town hall in Michigan last night, his first since the incident on Sunday, and his first big rally is scheduled for today on Long Island. Joining us now on the latest is ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. And Pierre, I'm curious, how has the security around the former president changed since that assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania?
Well, that was truly a wake-up call, and while they don't like to talk about the details, I know from my own sources that they enhanced the SWAT team tactical capabilities of the former president. He also is now using bulletproof windows and shields when he's outdoors, speaking at outdoor events. So he's basically getting the kind of security that's close to what a sitting president gets. Is not exactly the same, because obviously when the president's governing, he's got to have the utmost and the best security out there. But former President Trump is getting pretty close.
Let's talk about the suspect in Florida. He is in custody, but what do we know about his background and a possible motive?
Well, they haven't identified a specific motive, but right now a key focus is his alleged obsession with Ukraine. We know he traveled to Ukraine at least 6 different times. He's published a book, self-published a book that the FBI is very interested in. They believe it's tied to him, in which he talks about Trump being a, quote, buffoon. He even calls on Iran to target the former president. So that is an area of intense interest by the Secret Service, but also just his travels. They're trying to dissect as much information about his background. We understand that there's still searches ongoing. They expect to get a number of devices associated with this man, again, to try to figure out what was he thinking and why was he there.
The Homeland Security Secretary recently discussed the level of security the former president is getting. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
The United States Secret Service has indeed enhanced the former president's security posture so that he is receiving a level of security commensurate with the fact that he's a former president and on the campaign trail. And so his alignment with the security posture of our president is, in fact, quite approximate.
And Pierre, we give security to the candidates on the campaign trail. We give security to former presidents. This is an unusual situation. So is this creating a different problem for security for the services that he needs?
I think we need to be honest with the folks at home. The system is being stretched to the limit. We are in an unprecedented, perhaps most dangerous threat environment since 9/11. Law enforcement officials are super concerned. I can't tell you how concerned they are. They're talking about everything from domestic terror threats to a resurgent ISIS and Al-Qaeda. We've seen a surge in threats of political violence. So right now, with the Vice President Harris being the Democratic nominee, former President Trump, the 2 vice presidential candidates, the system is being pushed to the limit. We have a UN conference coming up very shortly. So law enforcement saying they're doing the best they can, but make no mistake, this is an extremely unusual period of time that we're in the midst of.
Let's talk about some of the reporting that you've been doing on suspicious packages that have been sent to election offices across the country. What do we know?
Well, at least 16 states, the election officials in at least 16 states have received these suspicious packages. The letters had a white powder. In one case, it was deemed to be flowers. So they've been harmless, but they've come with a threat. And they've caused some, disruption in 2 states. I believe Wyoming and another state actually evacuated their offices. Another state basically shut down the ventilation system in their offices because there was concern it might be toxic. And what all this means is that these state officials are living under the threat that, people want to do something to them, and they just want to do their jobs. They want to prepare for the election that's upcoming and do it free from this kind of safety concern, but it's obviously out there, and law enforcement, the FBI is investigating. Again, nothing can be left to chance in these situations.
Well, we are weeks away from Election Day. ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas, thank you so much for being with us.
Good to see you, Pierre.
Pleasure.